Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
I just love how Jimmy looks at the screen to look at us. It's so funny.
I hate it.
He has a smirk on his face.
Well, it's like I'm like a cyborg or something.
Yeah, it's an extension.
Technology.
If you turn the screen, you can see me.
Okay, here we go. You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomek.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back. The OG crew back together
Wow,
again.
we're doing it.
The Avengers have assembled. Guys, it's been how long? I was trying to figure it out before we started. How long has it been since we recorded an episode with all three of us behind the mics?
At least a month.
Yeah, probably like a month. It was when I was home from tour, that like 1 week stretch. I think so. Yeah.
I think it's been longer.
right
than
after
a month.
PNC. Yeah, because Jimmy came to the PNC show.
I wasn't at that episode after PNC.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
correct.
I was there the week later. I
So
think you were
maybe
gone.
maybe us three haven't been together.
That's what I'm saying.
Since like before June.
I think it's been like 2 months
Wow.
since the three of us have been in this room together.
What happened to the second week I was home? It was just like me, Josh, and Jordan?
I think so. I think Jimmy was gone.
Something like
You
that.
guys have been gone all year.
Jimmy's
It's-
been traveling. I've been here.
Honestly,
Wow.
guys, having the crew together has got me ready to run through a brick wall. I'm so excited to be back in the Garden State.
It's a good feeling. See, we love Jordan. Jordan's amazing, and I wish he was here today.
Yeah.
He had to be in LA, but like this is just an incredible crew. This is the OG crew.
I was pretty upset when I came here this morning and found out Jordan wasn't coming. Nobody told me in advance.
Jordan's a blessing. We didn't realize Jordan would be the ultimate understudy for Jimmy.
Yeah.
When Jimmy's on the road, Jordan pops in. Jordan's excellent. And Jordan also filled in for Chomek at the table.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he held this podcast together.
Jordan's like the funniest person I've ever met in
Jordan's
my life.
like our miracle baby.
It's
Yeah.
kind of weird how many more listeners we get when Jordan is in for Chomek.
That is not
Really?
true.
Yeah.
You remember that guy that sent us an email like, keep the podcast going, but get rid of the Chomek guy. I can't stand him.
That was a while ago, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
someone
So
like
angry.
hated me. He's like, that Chomek guy ruins the pod.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
Love
look,
him.
guys, I'm so glad we're back. Jimmy just got back from a trip to California.
I'm still in California time right now.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
it's-
got back, and then Jordan went to Cali.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, so, funny enough, have I talked about my friend Madison on the podcast before?
Probably, but
So
go ahead.
I've been friends with Madison since I was elementary school. She was going to LA the day that I was leaving LA. So I thought we were going to like pass each other in the sky on different airplanes. So I was, flying over Pennsylvania somewhere and this airplane came past me. So I texted her. I was like, oh, I think I just passed you.
No
And she's
way.
Like, and she's like, no, I'm still in the airport. And I'm like, oh, what time are you boarding? Maybe I'll see you in the airport. She's like, not until like 8. And I was landing at like 7. So I was like, oh, what gate are you going to be at? She's like, B10. And I was like, I'm landing at B10. So what are the chances?
You landed at her gate?
That's kind of
landed
crazy.
at her gate. She was getting right back on the plane that I just got off of.
Well, it makes sense
Whoa.
because you guys
Yeah.
are both going into Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So
This is the opening to a good rom-com.
It's amazing.
I'm sorry if that's inappropriate because this is your friend, but that's like Sleepless in, where were you?
Philadelphia?
Sleepless in Philly. Yeah. Great
Jimmy,
premise.
it's really special. Did you guys like have like a huge moment, like when you got off the plane?
Yeah.
Did
you,
you like in
like-
slow mo just run into each other's arms and
Yep.
be like, "Oh
That's
my
exactly
god!"
what happened.
It would have been crazier if she had the same seat as you. That would have been like,
I didn't ask what seat she was. I should have asked.
it's possible.
It is
never
You
very
could have
possible.
left her something, like
Yeah.
in the plane, a piece of candy or something.
Scavenger hunt.
So Jimmy, are you allowed to say anything about your trip?
Yeah, I was in California.
Cool. So
Wow.
you were in
Very
California for
detailed.
work trip.
Yeah, work trip.
Cool. So
Did you do anything cool?
I went to the desert.
Okay,
Went to the mountains.
cool.
Went to Texas Canyon.
Well, I mean, like if the listeners follow Jimmy on the gram, they would know what he was up to because Jimmy posts all the time
Yeah.
at JTDscape on Instagram. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're back, Jimothy.
I'm glad to
it's-
be back.
It's always good when, like I said before, all three of us are here. And Josh is back from tour.
Yeah.
We got him back. He's thinking about all these different trips he wants to go on, but I'm trying to just get these guys to chill out so we could actually do a podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sobes. I'm home, man. I'm home for good. Like,
Okay.
what trips? I'm not going anywhere. Where do I have to go? After being gone for 2 months, do you think I want to leave this place? Heck no.
I need you guys just to have a kid already. Not you two, not you two together. I mean, like,
Hey,
get girlfriends and have a child.
no
Find your wife.
judgment. No, we don't want to judge here.
Because when you have
That's allowed.
when you have a kid, your life just chills out a little bit. You're locked in a lot more.
Yeah,
you
well,
can't
we
just be
kind of like the rush at the moment.
yeah.
Jimmy also has his bathing suit on right now, so he's ready to go.
Jimmy's going to the beach today.
Jumping in the water as soon as this is over.
What beach you going to?
Bradley Beach. I'm meeting up with my friend Katie Ipel.
What's the deal with Bradley Beach?
Katie lives in Bradley Beach.
Oh, nice.
AKA, my friend has a beach house, so I'm going there.
Nice. Very nice.
Good old Bradley Beach, man.
I've only been there like once before. I mean, I passed through a bunch of times, I think, because right by Belmar and all those other places. But
Well, I think you're going to have a great day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good, Jim.
yeah, I think it's going to be 90 degrees. Chum, can we get a weather report for the
Yeah,
day?
it's going to actually be 89
Oh.
Wow.
with some wildfire smoke. So you'll have that haze in the sky. The haze this morning was beautiful.
The sun looked wild.
Unreal. From those Canadians, they're making more fires, and now we get their smoke. So, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not crazy like it was like 2 years ago. So you could breathe it in.
The vibe this morning on my way to work was Tatooine.
Tatooine. Oh yeah, dude. Like you felt like you were on like a planet, like a Star Wars planet.
Yeah, like the scene where Luke looks up.
Yeah.
I think it's. Let me see if I can find the.
That soundtrack is a vibe if you're about to look for that.
I can't. I don't know if I can find it. I don't even know what it's called. I was trying to find it over here.
Tatooine.
But it felt like when he's on Tatooine.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
orange
Dude,
sun.
it's been so many years since I've seen that series.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a vibe.
You ever see the video where the dad is sitting next to his son who is watching? He's like 5 and he's watching Star Wars for the first time. And then he's like, "No, Luke, I am your father." And the kid's like, "What?" Like he's freaking out.
No, I didn't.
It's pretty cool.
Nice. That's a special moment, when everyone's first time watching the series.
I think I don't remember the first time I saw that. I think I just knew it from birth.
Like my first time watching it.
Yeah.
I was in elementary school or middle school. It was a while till I saw Star Wars. I had a stomach virus, so I was out of school for a week. So I like on my couch in my living room, the house I grew up in, just watched the whole entire like Star Wars series with my mom.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a good vibe because like I was out home from school and I just watched it. It was awesome. I don't know if my mom watched it with me. She'll text me after listening to this, being like, "I don't remember that." I'm like, "No, I watched it." So it's been a while since I watched it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I saw episode 1 in the theater.
Nice.
When it came out, and I fell asleep for the entire thing. So
Really?
I remember the opening scene with the roly-poly thing, robots, and then
Did you see 2 and 3 in theaters?
No. I think 1 was enough.
Bro.
1 was enough for me
Dude,
as a loyalist.
It's such a good series.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you have, oh my gosh, dude.
All right, hold on.
So Josh hasn't seen Star Wars, so that's great.
I've seen
haven't
the
seen-
movies. I just didn't see them in the theaters.
I haven't seen Star Wars. I think I saw 1 or 2.
Jimmy doesn't know a
Really?
thing
Yeah.
about Star Wars.
You never seen 4, 5, and 6?
No.
Oh, you should. You should sit down
It's
and just
so
watch
good.
them through. That's kind of crazy.
I don't like series like that, like movie series.
I think maybe
Like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, I'd also not a big sci-fi person.
What about Lord of the Rings?
No,
Oh my goodness, you never watched Lord of the Rings?
never.
Well, I've never watched Lord of the Rings.
Really?
I have to watch. It's just like it's like a 6-hour movie, right? Like I don't have time to sit down and watch a 6-hour movie right now.
That's my big thing. I have a really hard time sitting still. I don't know if you guys ever noticed.
Isn't it like crazy long, like 4 hours? Or
And
something?
that's like maybe like 3 hours, but if you sit down and watch one of them at a time, I think you're at an age now where it would be really good.
How many are there?
There's-
Like I feel like there's
3.
the Hobbit movies confuse me. Like, is there like all these
Yeah,
Hobbit
that's all.
movies?
Forget about that. You just have the 3 Lord of the Rings movies, and they're excellent.
I'll
So-
take your. So many people have recommended it to me, Josh. I just have to find the time. So
We do have a story today related to the movies. Speaking of Lord of the Rings and Star Wars,
Oh, yes.
and it is a not a trilogy, but it is a sequel movie that's going to be shot in New Jersey. We're going to get to that. That's maybe one of my favorite stories of the week.
more movies in New Jersey, man.
Yeah, movies are coming to Jersey. Before we get into all the news, though, and there is some news. Do we want to crack open the mailbag really quick, and just see what the deal is?
Can I just give myself a shout out really quickly for my
Give
weekend
yourself a
recap?
shout out?
Yeah,
Usually, shout outs are reserved for other people, but if you say it, I can give you a shout out for it.
like a humble brag.
Okay,
type
go
thing.
ahead, go ahead. What'd
Humble
you do?
brag. I broke my personal best this weekend playing golf.
Wow.
I shot
right,
an
moving on.
86.
You shot an 86?
Yeah, High Bridge Hills, dude. There's my PR.
On 9 holes? Okay.
Yeah, right. You wish.
86. That's really good.
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of golf on tour. So like, the handicap's been going down. I've been going so hard. And, I got a lesson on Monday. I'm ready. I'm ready to just keep getting better, man.
86.
Did you
Yeah.
finally play golf with the guy from Yellow Card?
Yeah, he's the one who got the hole in one.
Ah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just been working really hard. So if now I'm kind of just like I'm getting better. So like if anyone listening is part of a country club, you could bring me and not be embarrassed because I'll lose like one ball around.
86. So that,
Yeah.
what was par there? Like 72?
72
Okay.
or 71. One of them. I think I shot like 14 over, something like that. Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
Thank you. I just want to let everyone know my progress is going well. And it really made the whole entire weekend. So
We got to get out and play. I want to play a nice course with you. We've been
Yes,
saying, I owe you
dude.
around at Crystal Springs.
I can't wait
gave
to-
it to you before your birthday like 3
dude,
years
golf
ago.
is such a vibe. It's like when you get out there, man, you put your phone down.
Yeah.
What's up, Jim?
I have a question about golf.
Yeah.
How do they, when they're building a new golf course, how do they determine what par is?
I think it goes based on distances.
Yeah, based off, I guess there's a surveyor that comes out. Maybe they tell him. I don't know if there's like a professional guy who comes and makes it, but like to determine if, what's a par 3 or what's a par 4 or like what's a par 4 compared to a par 5 more because par 3s are pretty obvious, but
So in golf, it's based on the distance from the tee to the green, as well as other factors like terrain and obstacles. For example, a par 3 hole for women is generally 220 yards. But for men,
wait, for a par 3?
under 220 yards,
Yeah.
excuse me, under 260 yards for men. So it's kind of interesting. I thought that sounds a bit
That is kind of
large.
crazy. Like I think like a long par 3 you'll find if you're playing the tips is like 220-ish on the average course, not like up to 260. That's like a pro course.
I guess it is a little subjective, but
yeah,
you know what
Josh-
the thing is? When you're on it, you feel it. You're like, oh yeah, this is a par 5.
Yeah,
it just
you can
feels
just tell.
enormous. And then a 4 kind of is in that you just feel it's in between a little bit.
There's just something so peaceful when you're playing golf. You put the phone down, you're just in nature, you're with the boys, and it's just like you're just relaxed.
Golf-
That's why I want to play with you so bad. So
Golf is white collar hunting.
it's crazy.
Men crave. We want silence. We want to go out and sit in a golf cart in silence. We just want to sit and it's just quiet, and you're around trees.
And then when you hit the perfect shot, and that feeling is like
It's the
is it-
same
you
as
can't describe it.
It's the same as if someone's out hunting and they're sitting quietly in a
Yeah.
shed, and then they get the perfect shot.
Yes, dude. It's like the
get what I'm
hole in
saying?
one right there, dude.
All right,
There's
that's-
this, you just reminded me of
Yeah, go ahead.
this super rich hunting club in New Jersey that I visited once, and
Whoa.
I've never felt more poor in my whole entire life.
Was it like a country club for golf? I mean, for hunting?
Essentially, it's up in Morris County.
What's it called?
I'm trying to remember.
Why were you there?
I was there for work.
Really?
Yeah, and the person who I was with for work grew up living on there because her dad worked there.
Yeah.
But it's
Wait, so it's just like a club, a bunch of people could just join if you're a hunter, and you
if
pay
you're like a
crazy
really,
fees.
really rich hunter.
Yeah,
like-
so it's like a country club.
Essentially,
you pay your
yes.
dues, your initiation fees.
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know there was a thing for hunting like that.
Hudson Farm Club.
Yep, Hudson Farms. That's it.
Wow,
Found it. Oh yeah, this looks fancy.
prestige.
But just like walking around in there and just like seeing what everyone was wearing, like I've never felt more poor in my life.
You're like, I'm middle class. All right. Well, let's dive into the mailbag. Let's keep this show on the road and see what our listeners have been up to while Joe and Jimmy have been globetrotting for all these months. Hey, Josh, if people want to call into the mailbag, why don't you share that number with them?
We love when people call into the mailbag, and it's so easy. We got a bunch of calls this week, so thank you so much for calling and checking in with us. But if you want to call into the mailbag, the number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey, Garden Staters, Mike from Central Jersey here. Weekend was good. Thanks for asking. Spent Saturday by the pool. And Sunday went for a hike at Hartshorn or Hartshorn Park in Monmouth County in Middletown by the Highlands. Really nice. Never been before, even though I live so close. A lot of elevation change, for this East Coast, 200 feet of elevation change. Pretty good. But wanted to mention two things you guys talked about last week. One, license plate. Wouldn't mind a change, but I think the priority should be changing our flag. If you ever have a chance to go down flag rabbit hole or flag rabbit hole on TikTok, YouTube, our flag is terrible. It's just our seal on a standard color. Not good. There's so much more we could do. Wonder what your thoughts are there. And then with the Manasquan River, I was Googling that, and apparently when they built the canal back in the late 20s, it closed up. the inlet just closed up completely, and the river just flowed into the bay for a couple of years until they built the inlet that we know it today. So I thought that was interesting. Maybe there's always been some challenges with the way the water flows there out of the Manasquan. Take care, boys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh,
Great
some good
mailbag.
insight right there. First off, let's go back and talk about the flag for a second. We talked about the plates and the flag.
moment he brought up the flag, me and Josh, our heads just turned right up because we have the
flag
we
above
have the
us.
flag in our office.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Well, I've thought since day one. I mean, this is an unserious goal, but we talk about the Garden State. The New Jersey flag and New Jersey license plate. I think we could do so much better. I think we got a lot of hate on the. Before we talk about his comment, we got a lot of hate on our story talking about the license plate.
I didn't realize how many people love the yellow.
People saying they love the yellow, but also, let me preface this by saying the majority of people agreed with us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that much hate, but there were haters. And there were many people that were saying they love the yellow license plate. It's for the goldfinch, which I'm like, people thought they were like dunking on me because in the video I said the yellow has absolutely no relation to New Jersey, which
Everyone's like, "It's a
I know
bird."
it relates to the goldfinch, but what does the goldfinch represent for New Jersey?
Yeah.
It's not like
No one ever brings it up. There's no photos of the goldfinch anywhere. Like, no one cares.
it's, to me, it feels like it's just kind of random. I think we're the Garden State. There's so much subject matter there.
Yeah,
that we can use.
yellow's just ugly. It's gross.
I think we could do better with our plate. And then also, the crest is cool, but we could take elements of it and make a new flag. I just pulled up a website that has a full breakdown of the iconography on the flag.
Whoa, that's cool.
And you have a cornucopia there. That's what I said it should be. And that represents agriculture and a bountiful harvest.
What does the knight represent?
The knight represents strength and sovereignty, which I don't feel sovereign in New Jersey, but okay. The shield is strength and agricultural tradition. The plow. So there's a lot of gardening sort of stuff, farming stuff. The horse is the state animal in transportation and farming.
Wait, the horse is our state animal?
I guess so.
I thought the goldfinch.
A state bird. That's why it's so random. It's just the state bird. It's not our state animal.
Jimmy, did you know our state animal is a horse?
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
The
I don't
Olympic,
remember,
the
dude.
Olympic riding team is out in Bedminster.
Really?
Yeah, I saw there's a sign for it on like 78.
Oh, wow. It's like Olympic horse riding team.
U.S. Olympic horse team.
Horse team.
Bedminster. I don't know what it's called.
Polo?
The equestrian team. There you go. Training center. It's
Cool.
It's in Somerset County, which makes sense. We have a lot of horses in New Jersey. But if you look at you also have Liberty and Ceres, which are, I guess, goddesses, goddess of liberty and the goddess of agriculture. I said we rip them off. Get all that off. And we just throw a fat cornucopia.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at the flag right now and with the colors, with the blue and the red and the orange, all within all that together. It looks pretty. It's just like, I don't like all the empty space on the left and the right. And I feel like we do better.
I like simple state flags. I think we could do a lot better. So we'll
So get rid of the goddesses, leave everything else, and add a few different things.
yeah, what else did he say about the flag? Any other notes there?
No, he just says we have to do some work to it because it's not good.
Okay. And then the other point he made was about the Manasquan Inlet.
I didn't know that. Like, it closed up for a little bit, and then when they built it, they opened it back up.
Well, it reminds me of the conversation we had with Jimmy where he talked about waterfalls, how all of our rivers in New Jersey have these waterfalls that are man-made and have been there for forever, really, at this point, the last 100 years or so.
Except for, Patterson Falls. That's not man-made.
Would be a cool man-made waterfall if it
Would be.
was. But it's interesting how much of the nature around us, how much of the environment has been manipulated by humans.
Government.
Oh, it's crazy, right? Like even you go down to Wharton State Forest, New Jersey's largest state forest, and like really the whole Pineland regions as a whole, that was all clear cut and agriculture. I mean, you have all these
Really?
waterways in there that are historically always there, but you have these bogs, these old cranberry bogs that are starting to be reclaimed by nature. It's crazy.
So how much, you're saying the entire forest, or how much of that forest?
The whole Pinelands region has been cut over
Really?
multiple times. Because back in the day, it was big like iron and glass making industry, and to keep these furnaces running, they needed fuel.
They need pines.
So they burned the pine.
Wow. That's so cool.
So you're saying like cut over, like they
Clear cut.
they chop down the forest.
Correct.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Wow. The whole thing?
Yeah.
It's a lot of space.
Yeah. I
pretty
forget how
interesting
many
to think about.
acres a day it took for like one of those furnaces to stay running. It was like a few acres of wood a day.
It's kind of interesting to think about, and I think it's even more prevalent when you're in areas like where we're from, where you don't even know what the world looked like 100 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Interesting fact there on the Manasquan Inlet. I think, it's just fun to think about how the environment around us in New Jersey is not much of it's very natural, and even when you're in a place that feels natural, it's most likely not natural.
So
Natural in the sense that at some point it was different and it's been changed.
The Valley Road waterfall is natural. I
Yeah,
don't know what you guys.
Clark.
Do you, and like, I don't think you can say this about New Jersey specifically, but have you ever been out west and you're like, I've probably spent more time in this one spot than anyone ever has?
I think that was like the weirdest thing to me about the western half of the United States.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's true.
So this is what I was wondering, right? So I was middle of the desert somewhere and in this one spot for, let's say, like a week, right? And it just made me think, like, either I am the only person who's ever existed who has spent a week in this one spot, or it's been a very long time since somebody
Yeah.
was there.
It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing about.
Why? Just because there's so much open space?
Yeah.
I think
And there's nothing there, right? Like,
being from New Jersey makes it so that everything's been done before.
Because it's so like
And
densely
so
populated.
dense, yeah. It's such everything's been experienced, and when you go out to a place where there's just miles of nothing, it's wilderness. It is something I've thought, Jimmy. We were like, "Am I the first person to ever walk
Touch
through
this.
this?" Yeah, or whatever. It's like the TikTok trend where people were throwing rocks into lakes. Did you see that?
No.
no.
And they were like, "This rock will never be seen again for thousands of years."
Wait, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like, "I'm the last person to touch this rock forever," and they throw it in like a big lake.
If you think about it like that, yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting to think about how New Jersey's changed, and I appreciate that call from our loyal listener Mike from Central Jersey. I like that he claimed Central Jersey.
It exists. I've had so many arguments throughout the months on tour about Central Jersey existing. A lot of haters, a lot of people saying it doesn't exist. No, it does exist.
My father-in-law doesn't believe. He'll always bring it up to me, but
Dude, hey,
it's okay. We don't get political anymore. So
he should call into the mailbag.
all right, why don't we dive into the news for the week
Let's do it, man.
and talk first about something a little a topic of conversation that's been going around, New Jersey Transit. New Jersey Transit has announced a fare holiday for a full week at the end of August.
Free New Jersey Transit for a week.
Yep. If you're taking a train,
So this
Don't
is
bring your
this is their
wallet.
little Band-Aid. You know, they're putting on all the problems. Being like, yeah, we've had all these service problems all summer. Here, take a few days of free riding.
yeah, I guess this is
That'll make it feel better.
this is a way for them to try to, I guess, balance the scales. There's been a lot of issues with NJ Transit for sure, and we've tried to cover all of them as fairly as possible.
Wait, there's been issues with Under Transit?
No, really, not really. It's kind of perfect. It's fixed.
It's a perfect
Six.
system.
But New Jersey Transit, it says in the article, is waiving fares for a full week, Governor Phil Murphy announced on Thursday. The transit fare holiday starts August 26th and lasts through September 2nd. If you've already purchased a monthly pass for August, the agency will give you a 25% discount on a September monthly pass in the mobile app. The fare holiday comes after numerous disruptions on New Jersey Transit this summer caused by overhead wire issues, power outages, and disabled trains, most of which the agency says are related to problems with Amtrak's infrastructure.
Always Amtrak's fault.
This is the confusion about NJ Transit is everybody's fault. It's somebody else's fault.
Yeah, always.
It's never just like, guys, our system doesn't work. And we're just going to say it. This is never going to work. I would listen, if we got a governor that came out and was like, hey, everybody, listen, New Jersey Transit's never going to work the way you want it to. I just got to say it. It's not going to, in the next 100 years, it's not going to, unless we invest $1 trillion into this rail system. I would go, you know what? At least you're not giving me false hope.
Right? They should just be honest.
Do you remember when Murphy ran
truthful.
and he was like at the Westfield train station and the Cranford train station?
Yeah.
He was campaigning. And I was kind of like, so he's really going, guns blazing that NJ Transit's going to be fixed.
Yeah, and everyone knew it just wouldn't happen.
Well, I think we all felt it. And I mean, but there's a part of you that you hold out hope. you want to dream of a better day,
Lost that hope many years ago, Josh.
and it just doesn't happen. So the article goes on to say Transit's on-time performance for June was 69%. Murphy told Pix 11 News, which is shout out to Pix 11 for the article.
It's good people.
The
over there.
minimum, so listen to this, the minimum on-time performance the agency has had in the past was 80%. So their minimum performance is 80%, and in June they were at 69. So it was not a good month for Transit.
Very bad.
It was not a good month. You know, I think
good.
here's where I want to get into politics. What happened to dreaming about the future? What happened to John F. Kennedy saying we're going to get a man on the moon? As much as I want a politician to say it's never going to be fixed, I want, like when I hear about Elon Musk drilling tunnels and it's working or putting up the rockets, I'm like, okay, this is
Like
like
someone's doing something.
this is like what you read about in books as a kid. Like we're making history.
Yeah.
Where is the person that's going to come out and say we're getting a bullet train and it's going to happen in 3 years?
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Like, didn't Kennedy put a timeline on getting on the moon?
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to get there by whatever.
Yep. And everyone was like, "Whoa."
And everyone didn't think it happened. And
then it did.
some believe it did happen. Some of us believe it was in, you know,
We hit the moon.
Studio City, California.
We
But
definitely hit the moon.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think it happened.
Eh. I don't know.
No, we did.
I think it did.
I think we probably did, but the footage is not real. That's my personal
It
perspective.
was AI.
No, it was filmed on a set because they went through the radiation belt coming in. All the film would have been destroyed. Jimmy should know this. All the film in their cameras couldn't have made it through the whatever that radiation.
They froze it on the way
But
back.
wasn't it?
I mean, you can't even bring film. For a long
brought
time,
their
you couldn't even bring
phones.
film on a plane because you had to go through the X-ray machine.
Hold on.
These people are going through.
Now you're really triggering Jimmy, dude.
Jimmy's a film head.
He's
He
typing away.
knows the reality of the situation.
No.
You could bring film into outer space.
So
I-
my
go-
question was, wasn't it streamed live at the time?
Yeah, but I don't know.
The
I don't know.
NASA technology
Debunk
was
that.
first developed in 1928 by Scottish innovator John.
Debunk that, Sobo.
I think we went to the moon, guys.
Yeah.
My point
Robust
is,
television camera that enabled live broadcast.
yeah, but they came back with all these photos, Jimmy. That's what I'm referring to. They had lots of
Yeah,
photos.
but you could put it in a lead bag.
Yeah, they just lead bagged it.
Do they have lead bags in?
They were using lead for everything back then.
Lead was in our cereal back then. Yeah, no, I'm joking. We definitely maybe went to the moon. Okay, so my point with that was we need charismatic dreamers that are going to go, hey guys, listen, we can make this better. Not better, we can change it forever. I don't want someone that's going to come and go, if your promise is I'm going to get the times down, then you're not the guy for the job. I don't want someone to go, I'm going to get the delays down. I want someone that's going to go, NJ Transit in 5 years will not look the way it's looked in the past ever again.
Yeah, like you said, we need a trillionaire to just give us all their money.
Well, we already have a trillionaire called Uncle Sam that taxes all of us.
That's true.
And where does that money go?
Yeah,
We're spending
but
it
Uncle
in
Sammy
foreign
doesn't
wars.
want to fix New Jersey Transit.
Yeah, I mean, that's where perhaps the right person could figure it out.
So a lot of people are just really upset about this fare hike. I mean, this holiday fare, based off the dates that Murphy chose. Though, did you see that? Did you look in
No,
your calendar and see what up
that-
to August 2nd is?
That was my
Or September 2nd?
immediate critique was this is Labor Day weekend.
It's Labor Day weekend,
So-
which is a lot of people who commute. They're probably taking off for Labor Day weekend.
Or working
They're going down
remote.
the shore or working remotely where they don't even have to use the trains.
But maybe a lot of people are taking the train to get to the shore. Did you think about that?
There's that
Show?
flip side, but yeah, but are the trains packed going to the shore, Jimmy?
I don't know. Maybe you should go on it this weekend. Let us know.
I don't think they're going crazy. It's just like, why couldn't they figure out a better time? But on the flip, Josh,
Yeah.
most people who do work have monthly passes for the most part.
Yeah.
So then they can take advantage of that 25% off.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Have either of you ever taken the train to the beach?
No.
Never.
I have a
did it-
car.
I did it once.
Was it worth it?
No, it took so long.
Yeah. Like,
This was before I drove.
listen, if the train dropped you off right at the beachfront, like at the boardwalk, cool. But like once you get to the train station,
gotta
you still
walk.
have to walk a good amount or
Yeah.
like get an Uber depending on where you are.
Yeah.
So I guess it's great if you don't have a car, like you'll figure it out. But also like lugging all your stuff around, bringing all your beach equipment, like you want to bring that on the train.
All your beach equipment.
No, I'm thinking like if you have a surfboard, a skimboard, chairs, umbrella, what are you doing? You have to get one of those like rollers that Josh was talking about.
Yeah.
Bring that onto the train. Who wants to do that?
So what's the future of NJ Transit look like?
It's this. I think it's where we're currently at.
It's never
There
going
will-
to change?
I think there'll always be issues. I believe it can get better.
I don't wanna
I really
believe
do
that.
because you got to think they're going to make the new tunnel going into New York City. Eventually, it's going to be done in like 20 years. But you'll have, I think it will get better, but there will always be problems. You're not going to have a perfect system. That's impossible.
Well, let's define perfection. I mean,
I don't think we'll ever have
if-
bullet
if-
trains here
if
like
this-
Japan.
If the standard was 80%, then that's not perfection to begin with.
It's not
but
anything
could we
close to
get to a point
perfection.
where trains are on time 90% of the time and they're moving 20% faster? I think so. I think in the future.
Well, if Amtrak and New Jersey Transit want to like maybe come to an agreement and work together, then we won't have these issues. Because apparently it's always Amtrak's fault. So
I think the issue is, I don't want to even get into it anymore. I think it's something that we had a governor run that said that was one of his primary concerns, and it wasn't resolved. So it kind of makes you think.
do you think Murphy actually feels the weight on his shoulders? For
Yeah,
that?
I think so. We've been critical of the Murph, but I think at the heart of it, he ran on it, and he probably, as a legacy move, wanted. This is a legacy project, whether
Yeah.
it's selfish, or whether it's he actually cares about the state.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably wanted to leave office with a really solid NJ Transit.
Yeah, not
Because then that sets him up.
69% or whatever.
But think about if you're going to run for president, let's say, to be able to go, I had a highly trafficked train system in the nation, and
Yeah.
and look how much more efficient we made it and effective. That's a legacy project that you take to a debate against somebody else, and you go, hey, gas prices are up. Plane tickets are more expensive. Guess what? I'm the person that understands how to get Americans around,
Yeah.
and I made it better in New Jersey of all places. I think if he had resolved it, it would have been a really nice legacy piece for him to bring to Washington or wherever whatever aspirations he has next. We've talked about, does he want to run for president? I'm surprised he didn't get tapped on the shoulder for that VP pick. With
They were talking about him for like a hot second, but I think they didn't because New Jersey's a pretty strong blue state, and they were looking to get something.
but Minnesota's been kind of heavily blue now.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be Pennsylvania personally, but
I thought Shapiro.
Shapiro for sure.
Well, I thought Shapiro for sure, but with seeing that seeing who she picked, I thought, well, Murphy probably would have been a better pick. I don't know. I don't want to get into the. I think
politics.
when you get into what I don't know. I think it would.
So who's everyone voting for?
All right, so let's get into the real heavy hitting news here, since we talked about NJ Transit already.
yeah.
Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be filmed in New Jersey, and you could be in it.
Casting call.
Casting
You
call.
don't even have to be an
Casting
actor.
call.
Casting call. Casting call. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you've always dreamed of playing Chubbs
Chubbs.
in Happy Gilmore 2,
Yo, that'd be crazy.
this might be your chance. Because they're coming to New Jersey to film the second one. What do you think about when they do the
Sequel.
sequel?
I don't like them.
You don't like sequels to these classic comedies?
You to a classic, like a Happy Gilmore, a banger of a movie, like an amazing movie. I don't think the sequel you can't compare it because it's never going to top the first one. And also, how many years later is it now? It's like over 30 years since the original.
96, so 28 years.
Yeah, it's like Sandler's older. Of course, he's a legend, so he's going to do a good job, but like, it's like the Dumb and Dumber movies. It's
You remember we went to Dumb and Dumber 2? I was just thinking about this.
sucked.
We went and saw it in the theater.
It's funny. There's funny parts, but it's just a dumb movie.
The issue with when they do this, what they always do wrong, and if they don't do this with this one, maybe it'd be awesome. What they always do wrong is they just replay the same jokes. It's like a big inside joke about the first movie.
Yes.
Like you have to.
You have to know the jokes from the first movie to get the second.
He's probably going to say like 6 times. I'm thinking of Waterboy when he talks about his mama says. He's probably going to have just a bunch of the same old jokes. But I think Happy Gilmore.
Like Shooter McGavin, like they have to get
Shooter.
him in there. Like that's gonna be hilarious.
Didn't he die?
No, he's alive, bro.
Shooter.
What's his name? His actor name? I always forget that guy's name.
Christopher McDonald. Yeah,
Dude, he's
I
a
mean,
legend. They better also get Ben Stiller in Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, I'm
My
sure.
fingers hurt. Now your back's about to hurt because you just pulled landscaping duty. Best line in the whole movie.
Hey, listen, the not Ben, the what's his name? The Adam Sandler movies of the '90s are all excellent.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. But so let's get into this story so people know if they want to be in Happy Gilmore 2.
I want to be in the movie. Tell me more.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. So it says this time the price is right. That's because Happy Gilmore 2 is both casting and filming in New Jersey. Jersey production on the sequel to the 1996 Adam Sandler movie is set to start in September, and local extras are needed. Filming will run through November in Bergen, Essex, Monmouth, Morris, and Somerset counties. New York's Grant Wilfie casting tells New Jersey Advance Media. So the open casting call will be Tuesday, August 20th from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Plaza Ballroom of the Hyatt Regency in Morristown. So if you want to go, it's August 20th.
I'm thinking about going.
You should definitely go. I'm on vacation, but you
Like
should go.
they say, like, there's no details though in this story about like what you need to do. It's just saying show up here for casting call, and that's it. So I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, they're looking for all ages and ethnicities, and it's going to be streaming on Netflix. This movie, so this is going to be a good one. I think we can.
So you know how before you continue, you know how they said they're shooting in all these different counties.
Yeah.
Is that like different golf courses? You think like you think they're shooting at a lot of golf
I think
courses?
they're
and
shooting.
stuff?
I think houses, neighborhoods, parks,
How about golf courses?
ice skating rinks, golf courses.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do all of them.
That's pretty cool.
New Jersey is the film state.
I
now.
wonder what golf courses they're going to use for this movie. That's what's really interesting to me.
Oh man, I just reading the way they describe Happy Gilmore makes me happy. I want to watch it again. It says written by Sandler and Tim Hurley. Sandler played Happy Gilmore, a hockey enthusiast turned golf talent who tries to save his grandmother's home from foreclosure by competing in a pro tour. What a great premise for a comedy movie!
It's such
so
a
funny.
good movie.
The movie was filmed in the Vancouver area, and it grossed more than $41 million worldwide on a $12 million budget. So it did pretty well. Longtime Price is Right host Bob Barker, who died in 2023, played Gilmore's celebrity partner on the golf tour.
The Bob Barker fight in that scene is just unreal.
They famously got into a fight after Gilmore's terrible showing on the course. Man, the price is wrong.
The price is wrong. Legendary.
Oh, I love that movie. Okay, so yeah, guys, if you want to be in Happy Gilmore 2, you're gonna have to head on over to Morristown, the Hyatt Regency Ballroom. I feel like this is such a classic '90s radio ad. If you're looking to be in Happy Gilmore 2, head on down to the Hyatt Regency Morristown Ballroom.
Tuesday, August 20th from 1 to 8 p.m.
Yep. So that's the move. Any thoughts overall on Happy Gilmore 2? Either of you?
You know, like I said, like I hate when they make sequels to legendary movies like this, but it is what it is. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna support it. I'm probably gonna laugh because I am a Sandler fan and also a golf fan. But like, I hope it's good. You know, I hope they do a killer job. That'd be cool.
I just like Adam Sandler. To use a very millennial word that I hate, he's a very unproblematic person.
He's a great guy.
He's just there. He doesn't cause any drama. He walks around with those huge basketball shorts on.
I love like you always see like random clips on TikTok of him just playing pickup basketball in the streets of New York City,
Yeah.
which is like randos. It's like he's just a normal dude.
I also love how he always makes movies with his crew of people, like his friends.
Yeah, that's always fun.
It's always him, Ben Stiller, Kevin James sometimes. What's the guy's name that's in Rob Schneider? That's the guy. Rob Schneider. He's in all his movies.
Rob Schneider,
Yeah.
legend.
All right, let's keep moving here. On to the next story. So this is out of Edison, New Jersey. Collapsing ceilings have forced 280 families out of one Edison, New Jersey neighborhood.
280 families is a lot, dude.
Yeah, this is crazy. So collapsing ceilings forced residents to flee 12 apartment buildings this weekend. Mayor Sam Joshi said that the problems began on August 3rd at the Evergreen Meadows apartment complex of a dozen two-story buildings. When the first ceiling collapsed on Friday in a different building, a second ceiling collapsed, which led to an order to evacuate 280 units. The owners of the complex agreed to pay for at least 2 nights of hotel accommodations for those who were affected, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We'll give you 2 nights at a hotel. The public health and safety of our residents is of the utmost priority. I've spoken directly with residents in the complex who are thankful and appreciative of us taking these steps to ensure their safety. A second night of lodging was offered by the owners for Saturday night when repairs were completed to passing standard. Residents started to get some good news on Sunday as repairs were completed on 146 units and residents allowed to move back in. As of Monday morning, 3 buildings remained uninhabited, but Joshi said that he hopes all residents will be allowed home by end of day. So let's get into this, Josh. We have a bunch of apartment buildings with ceilings collapsing.
Well, that's the thing. Did the ceilings collapse in over 100? No, it was like it just collapsed in a few different areas, right?
Yeah. And
But why was the whole building evacuated?
Because it was probably structurally unstable.
Okay, but then that leads to my next question. If it's structurally unstable, how are they all moving back in 2 days?
Because
they didn't
maybe-
they didn't repair the entire building in 2 days.
Listen
Hey.
here, buddy. You gotta, do your due diligence and inspect. Maybe after the inspection was completed, they realized that they could move back in.
That's a
You see,
quick.
this is-
That's a quick inspection, Jim.
This is a lot of logic here. Well, when you got 200 displaced families, you don't have time to waste.
Well, that's the thing. You don't have time, but are you actually putting in the time to make sure that place is safe for people to move
They
back
probably
in?
just went in the building and went like this.
Yeah, yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, put them back.
Yeah, because think about 2 roofs collapsing like that, ceilings collapsing like that. Do you want to move back in and be like, all right, I'm safe? That's kind of freaky, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
after
it's
2 days, you think they're gonna inspect the entire building in 2 days like that and make sure everything is good?
Personally, I don't think so.
Me neither. It's
But
quite
Jimmy might be right. Maybe they just went through the foundation. Maybe we're like, let's look at the foundation. Let's look
Yeah.
at some of the structural beams and make sure they haven't moved.
2-day vacation for all those families, dude, at the local hotel. Must have been pretty crazy.
They probably put them up on Route 109 in a little motel.
Yeah, little roadside motel.
No, but it's kind of a crazy little story here. But thank goodness nobody was hurt. And
Yeah,
and
right, for real.
They got them back in pretty quick.
Someone could have fell through a ceiling, but thank God no one did.
It just looks like sheets of drywall fell down.
So just like just portion of the ceiling fell.
Yeah, just like a sheet of drywall fell on a bed.
Yeah, not too exciting.
But how does that even happen? It's so weird.
Structurally unsafe. But the fact that like a little thing like that displaced over 200 families, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It was a busy week for Joshy, bro. They
Yeah.
had a water main break on that one
Yes.
street we posted a video about, which is
How crazy was
absolutely
that?
insane. We posted a video about this water main break in Edison, shooting just crazy amounts of water at a home.
What was like a 30-inch main or something
It was
crazy?
huge, bro. Yeah, the construction company was out there and they just, tapped it.
That was a bad day for whoever was operating that backhoe.
Yeah, dude.
I want to know what the inside of that house looks like.
I know. I wonder if like windows broke and water got through.
I think it definitely got through the roof.
Yeah.
So you probably had some water damage in ceilings and your drywall, and I'm sure it's a disaster.
Yikes. That's so unlucky.
What a nightmare.
It was
Also,
so-
like, what a once in a lifetime crazy. Like, the chances of that happening are like less than getting hit by lightning.
Yeah, it breaking it in front of your house
It was
and onto your
perfect.
house.
Yeah, it could have been an inside job. I love all the comments because the video blew up. All the comments were calling out the construction company that did it.
Why?
No, they were like saying the construction company's name because they saw the truck, the Creamer.
Kramer, yeah.
They're like, it's those guys.
Everyone's like, move the truck in front of it. Why don't you just put the truck in front? It's like, guys, that truck would explode.
Yeah, do you want my truck to blow up? You want my truck to be destroyed?
Kind of crazy.
What would you rather, them destroy their truck or destroy the house? I don't know. I would imagine
knock
it would
over
move
the
the truck. Yeah.
It would move the truck. It's that powerful. It's not like a little burst of water right there, bro. We have a stream.
Yeah.
Crazy. But yeah, Joshy's been all over the place this week in Edison. It's a lot going on. I think that those two things happen on the same day too.
Stressful day, but hey, nobody was injured. Everything's all right. We're moving on. In Deptford, New Jersey, parents are frustrated as the school district has stopped free busing for some students on short notice.
No more free busing.
Yeah, this is a controversial
What?
one. So we're less than a month away from the start of the new school year, and one district in southern New Jersey is telling families to find a different way to get to school or be prepared to pay up. Students who live within 2 and 2.5 miles from their schools will no longer be bused for free in the Deptford Township School District in Gloucester County. One mother, Leah Benton, spoke with NBC 10 about why she is concerned with the news that she received on Friday, August 9th. Among her concerns is the lack of sidewalk in her part of the neighborhood. She said, once you pass that sidewalk, where's the safety for our children? There is none. She said, I was told I wouldn't get a bus and I would have to pay, I think, $375. So
If she wanted a bus, it would be $373.
Yes.
Okay.
$375.
Wow.
Any K through 8th graders who live within 2 miles of their school will have to find an alternative mode of transportation. This also goes for any high schooler who lives within 2.5 miles of their school. So I guess they're trying to get kids to walk to school.
Yeah, let's get the kids on bikes, bro. Let's get the kids walking.
But
Kids
there's-
are fat.
I will say, if they're gonna play games where they're like, well, your kid has to take a bus, then she could play the game right back and say, hey, then put a sidewalk in.
That's the thing. It's like you're going to send a kindergartner walking 2 miles, though. That's far.
2.5 miles before school is
Well, especially you don't want to give like a 5-year-old this walk. They don't know what they're doing.
back in my day, we did that
Yeah,
walk
you think Guardian.
uphill both ways in the snow.
Really?
Wow.
2.5 miles.
See, look at you.
So I think these kids just got to toughen up a little bit.
But like realistically, Josh, what are you going to do about you have a 5-year-old?
Yeah.
You and your wife are working. The buses, you're going to pay that $375 for the bus to come out of the way, come pick up your kid? Like, you
No,
have to just
I mean-
find another parent to carpool. Right?
I think people are going to pay $375 for an entire school year if you think about it. I know that free is always the best, but I mean,
That's
come on.
what that meant, right? $375 if they want the bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Deptford's superintendent says in a letter that the decision was financial and that the cuts save the district more than $3 million annually.
Really?
So
It's kind of weird.
someone else said, I understand the budgetary aspect. I understand the legality of it. But at the end of the day, it's the safety of the kids.
It's for the kids, bro.
Got to be for the children.
All for the kids.
The district wasn't planned as a pedestrian-friendly walking district. I don't have a sidewalk on my property. No one has a sidewalk all the way down.
It seems like that's everyone's issue.
So these are quotes from these families. 2.5 miles with no sidewalk is not a good look for a little
Well, yeah,
third
you
grader.
can't put a third grader on a street.
I don't know. I think this is, at the end of the day, I know this is a local municipality thing. This is not a state thing. It's not a federal thing. But it seems when it comes to the children, we never have the money.
Never. No.
But there's plenty of things we have the money for.
We can go into it. I don't want to say it, but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that they should be having free busing for the kids? Or do you think
Yeah,
the $3 million is justified?
Well, yeah. How are they saving $3 million?
Because they're not paying for the buses?
Yeah, paying for the
I
buses
get
and the
that, but
drivers to do these longer routes probably.
Is it that many buses? How many buses do you realistically need?
Well, you got to see how many kids are in the school district.
Deptford is not that crazy big of a town.
Well, let's just say it's 5 buses
Can you
a day.
confirm with that, Jim?
Let's say 5
Have
buses
you
a day.
ever been to Deptford?
Can you just confirm with me?
Have you ever been to Deptford Mall?
Yes. How big
No,
is the
you
town?
haven't.
How big is the town?
The population is 30,000, so this is a good-sized town.
It's 17.61 square miles.
It's a big town.
So how big is their school? I'm comparing it to our school, Jim, growing up. Is it bigger or smaller?
Okay, so for example, Cranford is 4 square miles.
24,000.
So this town is 4 times as large as Cranford.
Okay, so yeah, Deptford's pretty big.
It's a big town.
Wow. Oh, this is what happens when you don't read the facts before you read the news.
Okay, what did you find?
I'm getting right into it.
Jimmy's coming apart
Share,
over here.
please
He
share.
is angry.
About 1,000 kids are in this school, a little more, 1,100.
Okay, so you got to think, what? How many of those are taking the bus?
Probably all of them.
Not all of them, Jim.
I never took the bus, Jim.
I never took the bus either.
I live 2 miles from a high school.
Well, that's
For
what the
me
rule was.
for me to walk to my school,
You used to walk to high school?
no.
About to say, no, you didn't.
But for me to walk to my school would have been a long
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah, but think about how much more healthy you would be.
Did you
healthy.
have the bus available to you if you wanted?
Yeah, but the bus would leave at school started at 8:15, I think. The bus would have to pick me up at 6:45.
Oh, screw that.
Yeah, so I get to school at
So do it.
7:15.
You just had your mom drop you off?
Yeah.
Before you could drive?
I'd say, hey, lady. No, I'm kidding. my mom would drop me. You made it sound like she's my Uber driver. So that was the move.
I think this, I don't know. Why are we saving $3 million? Put it toward the kids. Get the kids bus to school. Don't make the parents pay this much.
Yeah.
A bunch of scumbags. They're probably like, these parents are going to pay $375 now. Ha, got them.
No, I don't think that it's like that. I think these decisions are hard for everybody involved.
Where's
These
that
are
$3
hard
million going now?
I mean, maybe there's shortages in all these school districts. They're firing teachers in the New Brunswick area. Schools are letting go of teachers because budgets got moved around.
It's crazy.
One teacher was telling me as the state kind of reorders the funds, a lot of money is going to districts like Newark where they need teachers really badly. So they're offering a lot more money and they're cutting from townships like the New Brunswick area, South Brunswick.
Interesting.
Over there. So there are schools that are losing teachers. Right now,
I'm just
believe
gonna
it or
say, like, if you're gonna start charging people for busing, build sidewalks, let the kids walk. If there's no sidewalks, like, what do you expect?
not. Or just give out bikes. Okay.
Yeah, so they could bike on the street, Josh. They need sidewalks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard to make an argument that you want kids to commute if they don't have a sidewalk. I'll say that. I'll go with the parents that
And bro,
point.
kids have electric bikes these days. This kid came flying on the street the other day past me on an electric bike while I was at a red light, just like right next to my car. It must have been like a middle schooler on an electric bike. I'm like,
Really?
is this like allowed? Like, this
That's
kid's
crazy.
flying. That can't be safe.
Very crazy.
It's the new norm.
All right, let's get into our last story of the day, and then we'll wrap this show up. A funeral home in Englewood, New Jersey, is searching for relatives of a woman who died in a nursing home in July. So
She's got no family.
this is a sad one. We got to do better by the elderly in our state. I feel like,
Well, that's why this story is kind of it's sad, but it's wholesome because a lot of people are coming together
yeah.
because they feel for this woman, but it's cool.
Yeah, so it says a funeral home in New Jersey has a mystery on their hands. Who is Carmela Polomeni? Perhaps her family would be able to say, but so far, no one could find anyone related to Polomeni who died at 92 in July at a healthcare facility in Creskill.
Long life.
Looking at her reminds me of my great-grandmother, said the owner of Eternity Funeral Services, Ari Booker. Eternity Funeral Services in Englewood has had her remains in its custody since her death and has been searching for the next of kin. Phone numbers were disconnected. Phone numbers we were unable to get in contact with, including in Italy, Booker said. What is known is that Polomeni lived for decades at the Glenwood Retirement Housing in Leonia. She had been treated a few times at Care One Rehabilitation Facility in Creskill, where she passed away. So we're looking for family of this woman. If you know of this name, if you know of this woman, Carmela Polomeni, reach out to ABC7, reach out to us, or just reach out to the funeral home and let them know.
So what's crazy is they still have her there, at the funeral home. They're just
Yeah.
holding her. What happens if no one steps up?
They probably cremate her remains.
Is that what they do to these bodies that just like no one claims? As sad as that may be.
I'd imagine they cremate her remains and they just store them. And I mean, I don't think they're going to give her a plot, a grave site. Maybe they would.
I think further down in the story, Josh, it talks about I think people are trying to people are saying they would host the funeral or they step up because people are actually falling in love with this story because they want to, help this woman even though she's dead.
Yeah. So it says, while no one has come forward, there have been an outpouring of phone calls from strangers asking to help, saying they would attend if there were services. American authorities are reaching out to Italy, where she may have a nephew or niece. In the meantime, the funeral home is accepting donations, hoping to be able to give Carmela Polomeni a funeral mass and her own grave site and a headstone, which is really sweet. So Eternity Funeral Services says when arrangements are made, they will post it on their website. So we'll see if they do actually
That's pretty cool then.
give her a headstone and all that.
I mean, if they don't get enough donations, I guess they just cremate the woman and then, throw them out.
Maybe. No, or just store them in case someone comes forward, maybe.
You think they have enough space to just store that stuff for years?
Just a little vase.
Still, with her name tag on it.
Who knows? I mean, maybe
death is so interesting. I don't know how funeral homes work like that, but it's fascinating, right? How many bodies are unclaimed in total in the United States?
Probably a lot.
Think about so many people dying at these funeral homes who don't have families.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that common because this is in the news and it's getting traction. So,
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, why this story out of any other occurrence? Why is this one getting all the attention? Maybe it is rare.
Maybe many people just don't have a next of kin and they have that in writing. Like,
Oh, it's just like, yeah, just cremate me.
they
and
have,
just
they have
call it
like,
a day.
yeah, they have wishes for when they die. But this is sad. It's, you're right. Death is a weird thing. I mean, in reality, none of us will be remembered in 100 years.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I'm not gonna say it the same because it's dark. But like, I don't need a burial. I don't need a funeral service. I told my mom, don't buy a casket. Don't buy
Why are you
a
telling your
headstone.
mom?
Just in case.
You're going to die before her?
No, but just in case I do. No day is promised. Don't spend all
Josh.
this money on me. I'm dead.
Josh,
I'm not here.
If you die, I'm showing up to your funeral with sunglasses on, like a celebrity. I'm
You
gonna,
should.
I'm gonna like go up to do you a speech,
You should.
and I'm just gonna be like, "Listen, guys, I'm gonna say every embarrassing story about you."
Good. I'm not here. I don't care. I'm in a better place, baby. But that's what I'm just saying. It's just like, don't. I get it. We want to honor the dead, and I'm not bashing anyone. Like, you know, if my parents go and my grandparents go before me, I will spend money on a funeral and get them a proper burial. But like, guys, come on. For me, like, I'm a simple guy. I'm gone. Just, you know, burn me and throw me in the ocean. Throw me in the golf course, something like that, into like the sand pit.
I'll mix you into a sand
Because
pit.
I'm always in the bunkers. Throw me in the bunkers where I belong and save some money, man. Use that money on, you know, I don't know, a house. You need it these days. Inflation.
I think cremation is the move.
You save a lot, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean,
Because caskets alone are crazy, right?
grave sites make me sad. It's just like that's where.
No,
that's-
grave sites are beautiful, actually.
Yeah?
I talk all this stuff like, oh, don't get me a gravesite. But like, I visit my grandpa's, both my grandfather's funeral plots all the time. I drive around the cemetery. It's a very peaceful ride. I kind of reminisce. And I go out and take a little walk. Sometimes I like reading all the other gravestones around the area because it's so interesting. Some people have been there for like 300 years.
Do you bring flowers or anything?
My mom does, my grandmas do, but like I don't. I just kind of go there and just look around. I know he's not there, but I'm just like, oh, this is cool.
You're right. It is an interesting thing. Remember when Whitney Houston was buried and we went to her gravesite?
Yeah, and they were like yelling at us to leave. It's like, I'm here to pay my respects, brother.
They had thousands of flowers. It's crazy. All right, well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you, everybody, for all your support always here at the Garden State. We always appreciate it.
Yes.
And thank you to Jimmy Parks for producing this episode. He is the master producer.
It's been an honor to be back behind the desk.
Jimmy, have a good beach day today.
Thank you.
Don't get burned. Put some sunscreen on.
I know. I got really bad tan lines right now.
Are you Irish?
Great.
No,
What?
I don't believe I am.
What are you?
I'm a little bit of everything, so maybe I'm a little bit
What's
Irish.
your?
I'm not sure.
What's
to
the
be
most
honest.
percentage of?
I know I'm like a little bit German, a little bit of Polish,
This is
but it
it.
was before Poland was Poland or something.
This is interesting, Josh. I actually never stopped and thought, like, what is Jimmy?
He's
Just so, he's just so.
maybe he's not.
So has thought about that.
He's so white.
Jimmy is an alien. I've said this before. He can't. Of course, he can't tell us where he's from because it's a planet Zorkon in another galaxy.
It's the truth.
Wait, Jimmy, you actually don't know what you are?
I'm sure if I really think about it, I could figure it out. But
Did I ever tell the theory on this show?
no,
I think you
haven't.
have, like, at some point.
Maybe I did.
It was a long time ago. If you did,
I
don't
just have
remember.
reason to believe Jimmy might be an alien. There's enough.
Yeah, the kid doesn't drink hot drinks. His parents' wedding photos are gone.
Well, that's the thing. He said the photographer lost the film, so there's no record of his parents getting married. Which, you know, it could be minor, it could be insignificant. But there was one time his dad went to a conference in another state and came back with a shirt, and the date on the shirt was in the future.
I remember this. Yes,
That's your always
Jimmy's
bring
dad
that up.
also does Morse code with a ham radio and communicates with the International Space Center.
That's
Jimmy,
cool.
that's not
It
a
is
lie.
pretty cool.
That's the truth, right?
that's the truth. It's not like frequently that he communicates with the International Space Station, but he's done it before.
What's the hot drink thing? Jimmy hasn't didn't have a hot drink
he
until
never
he was
had
like
a hot
25.
beverage until he was like 25.
That's crazy.
Not by choice.
And then he never had bubble gum. Didn't you say you never had bubble gum?
No,
You said randomly like I've never had bubble gum before. Or you never blew a bubble?
No. It's pepperoni pizza
You never had pepperoni pizza?
until recently.
That's weird.
That is crazy.
so weird.
Chomik was there for it. I said I've had pepperoni before and I've had pizza before, but
Never had pepperoni
And
pizza.
then
What's wrong with
if,
you?
If people know your actual last name, your name is just too perfectly
It's
She's
a
perfectly
generic
common.
last name. It's a generic name where it's just like so fake.
Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me, but at the same time, yeah, it just wouldn't surprise me if Jimmy one day teleported into space.
It's not a bad idea.
He gets quiet whenever
Sorry.
he gets quiet whenever we talk about it. So
He's
maybe
thinking,
it is.
he's thinking about his home
Hey,
planet.
we're here for the aliens. We're all for the aliens. Like we're not nothing against you, Jim. Like if it's a thing, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support.
Love you.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will see you. Well, we're not
Yeah.
going to be here next week.
Josh
for a
is
full
on
episode. I'm on vacation.
This guy's just traveling the world, man.
Oh my gosh.
Just always traveling.
Can't take a vacation.
He's going back to Cape May to his stomping grounds.
We
Gonna
have
a
some
good
really,
time.
but we do have some really cool stuff happening coming for you guys. So keep your eyes peeled.
We did get some mailbags this week of people showing their support.
Yes.
We listened through the mailbags. We didn't play them, but people are saying no matter what we do, they still love the pod. They've been listening since day one. So thank you guys so much for all the continued support. We do have a solid base of people who listen to this pod, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to make it better.
Absolutely, and we have some really cool stuff coming. So we'll see you guys soon.
So break next week. Jimmy and I will still do stories for social, but podcast break next week, and then we should be back with something the week after.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, have fun in Cape May, dude. And Jimmy, you have fun at the beach today.
Thanks.
Be careful, both of you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see y'all soon. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you after Labor Day.
Later.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.